afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Christmas Eve, Tuesday, December 24, 2024, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We won't be having a TFCC called Christmas night. We'll resume that the following Wednesday. I think I told everybody we would, but we won't. Just want to make that clear. We're on this complete path of discovery. It's always about discovery. And as we find a comfortable place without any outside interruptions, relax into our bodies, be as still as possible, and focus on your breath rising and falling. One of the most powerful, you can call it a mantra for yourself, that you use, and I've had some people say that it's, what do you call it, challenging for them. It feels weird, which is not unusual because we've been so convinced that we're the opposite. And you do it in universal code number. You do it, I do it 9 times. You say that you are an omnipotently powerful, supreme, manifesting, abundant being. And while we're in these bodies, that's what we are. We use the body for that direction, amongst other things. And you get to the point where you use it enough where you're in that habit of, it's just part of your 24-hour. You do it every night, and you do it every morning. Excuse me. And what that does is it then begins to reprogram you. Because when you state that you are, there's no arguing about it. There's no doubt. You are. And everyone on this planet is. Challenge is that we, through this severe, heavy-duty programming that we receive on a continual basis until we leave these bodies, it's very difficult for many of us to ascertain that that's our natural state of being. Omnipotently powerful, supreme, manifesting, abundant being. Everyone on this planet it's their natural state of being. And it's the inherent nature of this universe. And there is so much. It's a plethora of things, ideas, love, money, friends, opportunities all around us. Even though we may not feel it all the time, this abundant universe is always available to us right now. We've been taught to look everywhere, look here, look there, do this, get that, climb this, do here, so on and so forth. And it's what everybody else has been taught, so it's handed down, as we know, from one to the other. And it gets to the point where you almost feel like you're on a hamster wheel. You ever felt that way? You don't notice it at first, but then you start looking down and looking around and go, I don't seem to be moving anywhere. I'm active. I'm taking action, but I don't seem to be going anywhere. That's the illusion. The illusion is that we're going somewhere, but in actuality, we're on that hamster wheel. We don't know it because of the programming. So we go through life on this hamster wheel, but we believe that we're progressing, moving forward, but yet we haven't discovered really who we truly are. Or a treadmill, however you want to visualize it. You are in a stationary, you're in a stationary life, and how can you progress? Okay, when you don't, you're not able to discover who and what you are within that body. So each lifetime, we who are not born, we have existed throughout eternity. We move in to these physical material forms to experience physical material, yet we don't have recollection of anything, past lives or anything like that. So what do we do? Well, it's not like, you come into the body and you're in a maternity ward, and your little baby body, and you're looking down and looking around. Some of us will say, I'm in another body. Others will say, I can't believe I'm in another body. Holy cow, not again. It's just a mix-mash type thing. And, of course, that leaves in a short period of time. So we begin our trek. And our trek is this life. And we have no programming whatsoever. Zero. We have nothing. No knowledge of anything. And we're just a blank slate. So then everything around us programs us to believe a certain way, think a certain way, feel a certain way, be a certain way. And we do. And we repeat this for eons, over and over and over and over again. Now, isn't it interesting that, and this is why we do incarnate. The reason we incarnate is because for the first time for us, we may have memory patterns before we go into the body, but just before we go into the body, those memory patterns mostly are gone. So again, we can't make a comparison or anything. It's discovering. Now, one might say, well, does that mean we keep doing this reincarnation as gods until one of the lifetimes we gather enough information on our own to determine and identify who and what we are in these bodies? Is that what this is about? That we have to keep reincarnating until one of the lifetimes we discover who and what we are, and then it's up to us if we don't reincarnate anymore. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way because of outside influence or whatever you want to call it, interference. We are artificially made ignorant before we enter the body, and we're made ignorant after we leave the body. So we don't have any recollection. Now, you in contemplation, in meditation, you look at the fact of saying, well, through the heart mind, what would happen if, in the event that I wasn't blanked anymore, that I was able to ascertain, comprehend, and discover fully who and what I am in this body? Right? And as our ancestors long ago lived to be anywhere from 900 to 3,000 years in the body, naturally, not artificially, naturally. But because of how things have been subverted, we're disconnected from all that. And we're disconnected artificially, not real, but in illusion. We're disconnected from everything that we are. So all we can go on is what we're told and how we're programmed. And then as we move into as the body gets older, then we're programmed again and again and again and again and again. We are constantly being programmed right up to the time we leave the body. Now, what happens when you decide, nobody else, no outside influence, truly, you decide, because you can listen to anything. It's a vibrational frequency that opens your doors. That's all it is. It's a vibrational frequency that for you, you say, you know what? I'm going to look into this. And I'm not going to do it half-ass. I'm going to do it all the way. I want to find out just what the heck has been going on and why I have this big void of remembering, past lives, past occurrences, because it would help me. And see, you got to do it heart-mindedly, because here's the whole part of it. If you don't do it heart-mindedly and you do it ego-mind, it's really going to mess things up. Ego-mind will mess things up completely. All right? It's like once you discover you're an omnipotently powerful, supreme manifesting, abundant being, and you do that through the ego-mind, arrogance, greed, manipulation, dishonesty comes in every single time. Now, through heart-mindedness, none of that's there. You are what you are. You don't go broadcasting or anything. This is all about you. The whole thing is about you. Every one of us. And see, we're a reflection of ourselves. So once we discover these things, we emulate them. They come from us and go out to others. When we love ourselves, we love others. It's common. Even though we know that, all right? We don't practice it all the time because the ego mind is there and the material physical world is there. So we just keep practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing. Until we get to the point where we say, we start discovering on our own, through our own channels, not through books, but through our own channels of feeling, comprehending. Doesn't it make sense? All of us are omnipotently powerful, supreme manifesting, abundant beings. All of us are. But the opposite, the lower frequencies, program us to believe that we are not, that we are the opposite. Now you can easily control people by programming that in. Now, not that they know it. For eons, you can control that by putting that information in there. And you're unaware of it. So you go through this life unaware of it, and then you leave the body. We're all going to have more time. Time's an illusion on this planet, but it's a construct. Eventually, we're all going to have a lot of time in one lifetime across the board. This is going to afford us a lot more flexibility on discovering who and what we are. Doesn't it make sense? We don't have a long life. We've been convinced that 90 years old is long. And it isn't. It's real short. And this is one of the reasons, or one of the main reasons, why we don't have enough time to discover who and what we are, in most cases. Okay? This is why the civilization is always in a state of flux. So as we gain more time in the body, unless, like I've talked about, the body is immortal through the processes of our technologies, then what happens is that the body becomes immortal, so the God that is immortal within the body, the illusion of separation is defeated, is eliminated. And then the reality is that we come back together with clarity that we're pure consciousness, God's within these bodies. That's huge. That's absolutely massive. And what that does is that we connect with the heart mind, we master the ego mind, and we master our thoughts. That's the whole process. And we live in bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence. Now, in this society, that's looked upon as what? Weak, milksoppy, right? And it's actually the opposite. Because when you master your thoughts and you master your ego mind, and you reside in the heart mind, there's really nothing that you are irritated about as far as living this life. You don't get angry. There's no reason to. That's ego mind. You don't get frustrated, fearful, anxiety-filled, stressed out. That's ego mind. So we master all those things. Now, we've experienced them, which is great. We've experienced them over and over and over again. We know what they are. We know how it feels, which is great. We all have. See? We know that when you get to a certain age, let's just say age factor in these bodies, most of us we've experienced a lot of things, different ways, but we all will experience, if we haven't, many different things. And that's a wonderful diversity for us as experiencing and moving to other levels of divine perfection as the gods that we are, the pure consciousness. And that gives us much more awareness as we continue our journey. It's like I've said, how can we create universes if we haven't experienced all this? We wouldn't be able to. Okay? If we didn't know what life was, and we didn't know what death was, how could we create universes? And see, nothing ever ends. That's what's interesting. Nothing ever ends. It just changes form. See? It might be in one form for a billion years, and then it changes into another form. And so to us, it's ending, it's over. But nothing ever ends. It's a continuation. That's why sometimes we'll say the time continuum. We are constantly moving in a soup of pure energy. All of us, all life, all connected across the great plane of existence and beyond. And we begin to discover that. Then what happens? Eventually, all of us will know, as we go through these steps, that at any time we can plug into the collective consciousness of all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Even beyond consciousness. Anywhere in this galaxy, anywhere in this universe, in all connecting universes. An instant. All the knowledge, all the experiences that have ever been and ever will be, through all of us gods inhabiting physical forms of some form, shape, or another, to experience that physical life. This is what we do across the galaxies, across the universes. Now, we're all not apart. None of us are apart. The bodies give us the impression that we're apart. The reason that is so that we can each, in a way, individually experience the life that we're in. You know, if we all experience the same thing over and over again, it wouldn't be that great. See, we have to have the diversity and the expansiveness of each of us enriching the life experience so that it gives us much more awareness and expanse and growth. Because this way, when we create because we have experienced all these different avenues, which helps us create planetary star systems, create suns and moons and all of that. And this is what we do. Because remember, whatever you focus on for any length of period of time, you're going to create. It is an absolute. And it's not like we have to. It's because we want to. That's all. We're curious. Remember that childlike curiosity that we all have inside of us? It's still there. And then once we get it front and center, this is when we start expanding. We basically, we disconnect all the shackles, these illusionary shackles and yokes and everything that we put on ourselves in this life and other lifetimes. We just let it go. We've got to let it go. And there's an argument with the ego mind of letting things go. We have that. It's there. You know, we feel that we're going to. It's like you practice dying every day. Scares the living crap out of people. What? No. So that you can be born again. I know that sounds strange, but it's a reboot every day. It's a reboot. We, each of us, all of us, and here's the holdup. We have the power within us to heal our bodies and stay young for a very long time. I'm not kidding you. This is why I talk a lot about in my health calls is to learn about your body. Learn about it. This is all connected. You learn about your body. You learn about the cell structures. You learn about everything in that body. Okay? And then you gain the knowledge. Knowledge is power, ignorance is evil. So when you have that knowledge, and then you begin to connect with the God power within you, and you start to realize, it isn't difficult either, by the way. It isn't. Once you have mastered a few things, such as the ego mind, right? So you begin to sidestep the ego mind. So not that it doesn't know that you're doing that, really. So it doesn't become super aggressive. It's subtle. And then mastering your thoughts does what? You're clearly able to direct your attention and focus on something, and you have 100% confidence, 100% faith, and 100% trust in yourself and this universe, that you can actually heal things in your body. Now, see, people will do that, but they still have the entanglement of the ego mind. And it takes them weeks and weeks and months to do it, which is ridiculous, because we should be able to do it once we focus on it. Without it, see, that then we have the doubt and the worry. All that stuff negates it. We negate the very thing that we are. We negate the power that we are that can literally keep us young, healthy, alive, abundant, prosperous, manifesting, supreme, omnipotently powerful beings. But we all admit, we all know that we're distracted. We're distracted to this. We're distracted with this. We're distracted with this. Everything's fine until what? Until what? Until something happens and your body says to you, "Hey, look over here. Come here. Look. No, don't ignore. Don't ignore. I'm knocking on your door. We got to do something about this." See? And this is all part of our journey, which is never ending. This is one chapter in our journey in these bodies. It's absolutely magnificent, magna-glorious, spectacular, because we're learning about how to be powerful again. We are. We're learning how to be powerful again while we're in these bodies. Imagine that you know that you're a God, and it's through the heart-mind. You know that you're omnipotently powerful. You know that you can have anything you want whenever you want it. See, they're intricate, but they're not difficult. It's just going through a couple of areas of mastership. And you know that, so you begin to master these areas. It isn't a tug of war, really. It's you saying to yourself, I don't really care to have my ego mind as my master. I don't really care to have all these random thoughts coming in that aren't mine. I would rather be able to master my thoughts, to know exactly what kind of thoughts I'm sending out there that will manifest things. Does that make sense? And since on this planet we were taught what? That there's a lack of everything, right? A lot of us were raised that way. Lack, there's just, it's scary, because we have all these these running out of this and running out of that. And that is just absolutely not true. The opposite is true. You're not abundant, you never will be. That's a lie. You are abundant, you always have been, always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And you end up becoming, it's your choice, okay? We know what the other side is, because we live it most of the time through lifetime after lifetime. And we are literally a highly refined, super powerful channel of abundance. All of us are. We have all these tools, we just haven't learned how to use them yet. And we're beginning to pick them up and start figuring them out and how to use them. Okay. It's like you got this big toolbox he's given to you as a gift, and you look at all these tools and you go, what the heck am I going to do with these tools? See? That's representation of how in the heck am I going to figure out all this stuff? And it isn't overpowering, it's pretty simple. Pick one of the tools up, which happens to be mastering the ego mind. How do you master the ego mind? By leaving it alone and watching it through meditation. And slowly but surely you begin to understand what the ego mind is all about. And you'll know that when you stay in the ego mind, you do suffer, you do experience disappointment and a lot of other things. So you know that you can master it by not being involved with it. I know that sounds strange, but you step away from it. It's the same with your thoughts, mastering your thoughts, instead of having them be like a Tasmanian devil shooting all over the place. You master your thoughts. You say, okay, I know this thought is not my thought, even though it has my name on it, right? Even though it's connected to something that I experienced in the past or whatever, I know it's not mine. So I'm not going to pull it in. I'm not going to embrace it. I am not going to give it power and bring it into my reality to experience it. Now, I am going to send out a thought in meditation that is my thought, coming from my heart mind. That's my thought. You see how that works? And you get in the habit of doing that. All along, being gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times, and being in the highest and deepest and purest of gratitudes at all time. All the time, all the time. Not once in a great while, not just in a holiday season, all the time. Okay? All of us in this life should be a holiday every day. That's really what it was designed to be. Well, then one would say, well, then we won't experience it. Oh, no, the experience is there. It's just that now we're the master and commander, as we should be, and we direct that experience. Because we will send out a thought to the universe, it'll manifest, and we'll know, okay, so I would like to experience this. I also know that there are areas I don't know about on purpose. See? This is why we say, be very careful when in meditation and you ask for something, you send something out, right? Be very, very detailed about it so that you don't, in other words, don't be sloppy about it and half-ass about it. you just go in and you're very careful and you send it out with love, deep eternal love, and gratitude. And you leave it alone. The stuff that we carry with us, it's up to us to clean it out. Let it go. Anything that you carry, no matter how long you've been carrying it, let it go. Okay? If it comes back, let it go again until it just doesn't come back anymore. Because we ask ourselves, is this, in this very now moment, serving me the greatest good? You'll get your answer. You'll know. And you'll just say, okay, I'm dropping that off. I really don't care to carry it anymore. You're not running from it. You're not ignoring it. You're embracing it, saying, there's no reason I need this. So I'm letting it go. It's like in relationships. It's everything. A lot of us will be in relationships, and we hang on to the relationship because why? Because the ego mind doesn't want to be alone. See, that's what happens a lot of times. And since we haven't interacted too much with ourselves deeply and eternally and intimately, we have a very difficult time doing that with others outside of us. It's not a negative. It's a discovery for us so that we say, okay, how do I feel about me? You go within. This is what's going within through the heart mind, not the ego mind. And by doing this, you begin to master the ego mind, and you begin to master your thoughts. It's actually quite fun and exciting. It's very different than what we do in this life is plod along. Normally, we just plod along. So in the quiet time of this meditation, create your thought, be clear about the thought, and make sure you don't have any doubt, any lack of confidence, and any lack of trust in yourself or this universe. Put it out there through the heart mind, not the ego mind. You're in the now in this meditation. You are not in the ego mind. You're in the heart mind and the now. Very moment we're in, because it's all we will ever have while in physical form. We only have now. I'll join you in meditation. I'll return to close this out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, relaxed into the body, focused on the breath rising and falling. At the core of our being is a quiet, calm energy that is as deep and peaceful as the ocean. When we relax, rest inside, take time to simply dive beneath the ripples of thought, we are able to glide through the day. Approach consciousness with reverence. Take a deep breath. Relax into the gentle, ever-pervading mystery that is you. The moment we discover true peace with our life, exactly as it is showing up for us, we have truly mastered our life. We are not this mind, these thoughts, these emotions, or this body. All these things will one day be gone. We are the soul, an eternal expression of light. Get to know this divine connection inside. Pure consciousness is utterly peaceful. And this is who and what we truly are. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. We will return here, Christmas Day, Wednesday, as we have for the past almost 7 years. Actually, 7 years. December 25, 2024, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, and purest of the purest, purest, eternal gratitude at all times. No matter what's going on out there or in here. Open your heart. Allow the magic to flow in.